It's a pleasure to be with you. All right. Um, Over the next few minutes, I'm going to take you on a little bit of journey. I'm going to take you to the future. We're going to bring you back to the present, and then we're going to talk about what it means for you. Okay. Um, New front door. I'm sure a few of you heard about the concept of the new front door. 10 years ago, I wrote an article for the exact purpose to put you to sleep this morning. No, I had imagined a world where you can access thousands of products and services through a single interface. You see, at the time, it was all about voice assistants. Remember voice assistants? Sure. And there were these super apps in Asia where you could type, find out your banking details, order taxis. And I thought, what if you could bring these two worlds together? What if you could make it more deeply personal? Like it could move with you in different spaces, be ambient, the context would persist. But unfortunately for me, I didn't have the technology at the time to bring it to life, the idea to kind of sell it, It was, or if I'm being completely honest, I probably didn't have the skills, but I could do it today though. Hey, check me out. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to introduce you to Maya. That's the name of my protagonist, you see, and the new front door.
What kind of a plant is this? Hey Maya, sorry to interrupt your break. You'll want to check your screen. It's about picking up your mum this evening. Happy to go with my recommendation for ABC Taxi? I've checked and they are the best match based on your preferences and their safety record.
Okay, sure, let's go with that then. Good call.
Perfect. I'll send you the link once your mom gets picked up, so you can track her progress.
Check out Maya, boy. Uh, It's comforting to think that we'll all be sitting down in gardens doing work while the machines work on our behalf. But look, blue holograms aside, you need to put some holograms to indicate that it's the future, right? But it's there's two things, right? It did a tremendous amount of planning. It went 2 steps ahead, and it worked out. Hey, ain't no way Maya can get to her mom and get back with all that disruption. So I need to find an alternative, right? It did go deeply personal, right? It knew that Maya's mom wanted someone to be right at the arrivals hall, placard, name and placard, ready to take them bags, all of them goodies from back home. I could sympathize with that, as you can imagine, because, my mom does this very similar thing for me. And the one I want you to hold on to, it introduces her to ABC Taxis for the first time, of course, right? It worked out that by analyzing the description of the services from ABC Taxis, that it was in the vicinity of the airport where she was to be collected. It won't be impacted by the disruption, and therefore it was the best choice. So, ABC Taxis, Maya. Right? But if we scale out a little bit, what if everyone in this room And everybody in this country did that. We were introduced to brands in that way. What would that mean for discovery? What would that mean for ad spend? Something to think about, because it's a pretty compelling proposition as a consumer, right? To find our golden nugget today, the thing that we so desire, like that table that just slots right in the hallway, right? That fridge that's tiny enough to fit into our office, right? We go through quite a lot, right? We search, we get the next best thing, we go to multiple sites, we go to multiple stores, we exchange, we buy two, we say I'm at one, all sorts of shenanigans. And to have the machine lift that complexity off of us, where the accuracy of the product and service is more important, the accuracy of our preferences is more important, to encourage that match. That's a different world. So, as you've seen, our colleagues spoke about how it will progress. What does it mean for brands? Well, good news is, done with the fearmongering now. You've been here before, right? We had travel sites and aggregators. It's not the first time intermediaries muscled into the relationship between consumers and brands, right? So there's so many things that we can learn. We had meerkats. We still got meerkats. Have opera singers, right? And the beauty of that is that there's so many lessons that we can learn, practices that we can take. Many of you, I'm sure, were practitioners at that time developing digital products and services. So let's do that. Let's take some of the learnings from the previous era and use it as the foundations for what we need to do for the next era. Okay? And that's why I'm suggesting that we take an open, connected, and intelligent approach. OCI. You need an acronym. Now, what I want to do with you over the next few slides, I want to explain my concept, each pillar. I want to talk about who does it well, and I want to bring it back and work out how and what it means for us. Ready to go? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go. Boom. First up, open. If the machine can't find you, it can't recommend you. Right? Simple premise. Travel agencies know this really well. I think the entire travel industry knows this very well, right? I mean, you spend billions of dollars to make sure that, the hotel room and the size of it is specified, and the specific configuration of car or the specific seat in the plane, even the model, we've got it down, right? So that it could be included in our travel plans, right? I mean, that stuff really tall. But many of you might not know that the media industry had to do a similar exercise where they had to detail out all of the content that they had, these deep treasure troves of data, of videos, of audio in their archives, in order to surface it to you so that you can have it in your online players, what they call OTT. Yeah. So that if you're really into 1950s videos about David Attenborough and Komodo dragons, you can find the video that was right for you. All right. So that they could actually repurpose that content and connect back with you. All right. Now, what does that mean for us as a principle? Well, does that mean that if you're selling trousers, you should perhaps think about specifying the length of the inseam of a trousers? Or maybe the height of a heel? something to think about. But all of that would be in vain if no one could find you. Next pillar, connected, right? So connected is your seat at the table in the near future. Okay. And the way to think about it is, let's lean into the lessons from our friends in financial services. I know that there are many insurers maybe in the room. You understand that you're not necessarily the primary purchase, but you understand that the product that you've got to sell is very valuable and relevant to the primary purchase. So you have done a fantastic job of seamlessly integrating into the checkouts of travel bookings for travel insurance and tickets insurance for events. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah. So the idea that you don't own the direct consumer experience is a principle that many more sectors will have to feel comfortable with. But it is a guiding light. Right. Now, apps like Zero and Stripe and Monzo, I mean, there's thousands of businesses, small and medium-sized businesses in this country that sit on these apps, you know. Right? So people could be the best hairdresser they want or the best dog walker they want, while their bills comes in from suppliers and they get reconciled automatically and then they get issued to payment. You see that importance? So that's how you need to start thinking about your brand. So, you know? Right. Last one. Intelligent. No. This is the one, is a bit interesting. There are fewer examples from the previous era to apply to this one, but this is norming and forming. All right. But let's take a ride. So the media companies, all right, they understood 10, 15 years ago that actually cooperating and competing is a thin line. So their relationships are based on such. Right? So you could be in Apple TV and you could launch Paramount TV, or you could be in Fire TV or Google TV and you can launch Netflix. To mutually beneficial, right? Netflix connects with you, the consumer, right? And the shell, Fire TV, Google TV, gets to connect with you, the consumer. Mutually beneficial for both parties. And so think about what that is. At its core, they understand that their relationship with their customers should follow their customers. Let me go again. The relationship of their customers, what you've nurtured for a decade, you understand the purchases, the frequency of purchase, the taste profile that they've got. They understood it, they've codified it, and they let it go wherever their customer goes. So, in the very near future, I can bet you this one. This is not a 10, 15-year thing. This is a very, if you look very closely, you're already probably seeing it. You'll be able to see what Netflix wants you to watch next based on what you've watched before in a shell, whether it's a Samsung TV or whatever. Okay? That's what intelligence is about. All right? So, I'll leave you with these three things. Enrich. We need to think about detailing the products and services that you've got. And here's a little tip. I find this particularly useful. Work with your researchers. They understand what happens to the left and right of your brand. That helps you to understand your customer need. So the reason why I needed to understand the length of my inseam is because it falls right on the shoe for a crisper look when I'm on stage. If you look to the left and right of your brand, you know that it was just part of a whole process of getting the outfit just so I can stand up to talk to you, right? And the reason why you need to tell her the height of her heel is so she can stand taller, because she got to present to the board. If you look to the left and right of your brand, you'll understand that's why it's important, all right? And that gives you an indication of what information you need to specify for the agent, right? Connect. First, you got to just make that decision. You're happy to be the third party channel. And once you make that decision, it guides lots of different downstream decisions. Am I suggesting that a retailer opens up everything to the whole world as an API? Come on, all right? But you could be sensible and you could strike one-to-one interconnections with your closest partners as a starting point, okay? The last one, I want you to surface the intelligence, codify what you know about your customers, surface the inventory, surface their taste profile, so that is a funny one. My colleagues at Contentsquare will laugh at this one. When we were planning for this, so piece of content, I said that anytime that I create a basket, I like bourbon creams, these cookies with some cream in the middle, right? Chocolate, I love them to death, boy. And my sons as well, So if the agent is creating a basket for me 5 years in the future, it's definitely going to have that. And not only that, there's only one supermarket that I get this thing from. So it places that supermarket right at the top of my recommendations. That's the power that you have. You still have the relationship. And if that relationship goes with your customers, you still come out on top. So, look, Sharp, I know that you are about to go into many breakouts. So I want you to think about how OCI could be applied to your brand, right? And what conversations you can strike up when you get back to the office with your technology teams and your researchers, right? And it was fantastic to be here. I really love doing this, and I really like to speak to you. And thank you to the Contentsquare team for having me.